Hello, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be working on my spring journals to hopefully get them finished. Excuse me. So what I've done is, in a previous video I made the topper card, so I'm going to glue that on today. But I wanted to show you that I did add, I'd gotten in a recent haul these metal snaps. I got a set pulled out here for the next one. And I want to show you how I put them into a journal that was already finished. Now there's other ways to put them into a journal if you were smarter than Lisa and decided to put the snaps in before you actually create the journal. But I figured out a way, I think, that it's going to be okay to do it after the fact. So on the front cover I have one part of the snap that is on there. They come with, they're hard to pull apart. Boy, these things are hard to pull apart. Okay, they have the one side that's got the outie and the one side that's got the innie. So I put the outie on the outside. I don't know if there makes a difference. This one's a little thicker, so I thought it might be better on the closure versus on the top because I had to put the journal topper on there. So I thought maybe it would be a little less intrusive. All right, so I was able to push it through. And once you push it through, you put these little discs on, and it's back here, and I have covered it with a piece of coordinating fabric to make it a little less noticeable. And the reason I said that if you were smart, what you would do is you would put this snap on the cover before you put the back or inside fabric, paper, however you do it, and it would be covered then. But since I didn't, and I'll show you when I do the next journal, what it looks like beforehand. But I cover it with fabric so it doesn't look so awful. I mean, you can tell there's a piece of fabric there, but it's pretty hard to see. And then the same with the back. I've covered that where I've attached this, that I've sewn with the other part of the snap. Now, this part I've made extra long, not really extra long, but long-ish. You can see that how it sticks out, just to make it a little bit more gator mouth friendly. I probably could have made it a little longer, but that is the amount that I did for that. So this is on there. Be able to flip through, take your journal and, oh, my fingers aren't working. Take the journal and close it. Aren't you catching? Oh, there we go. Operator error. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, but I think I figured it while I had this. I'm going to go ahead and attach this journal top to it since I got that done, and we'll go from there since I've been meaning to do this for a while now and get these two done so I can move on to the next project. So how is your day going today? Hopefully well. I am just cruising along here. I've been working on a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff. I recently got a whole bunch of things that I can fussy cut, so I'm kind of working on that at night. I'll show you that at some point. Kind of been working on getting stuff prepped for my craft room move, redo, whichever you want to call it. All right, so I think I'm going to do that there, and we're going to hold it for a second. So I don't know if you've gotten a chance to, and I'm filming this on Thursday, March 21st. And it'll probably go up within the next, probably maybe tomorrow or the day after, I forget. So hopefully there's still a sale on. But I don't know if you've noticed that there is a big storage sale at Michael's. Now let me see if I can reach while I'm holding. Sort of. But I'm going to show you this. I got these, the containers. Let me get them out of the way. They are these kind of containers that snap open. It's hard to do it with one hand. Snap open, put stuff in there, snap closed, snap closed. There we go. And there's, what, 16, I think? 16 in a box. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 16 in a box. They were on sale for $12.60 or $12.69 for one set, which has the 18 little boxes and that container. So I thought that was a great deal. Now, The first one that I got, very similar to that, I got at Joann's, and that has really, really good closures on them. These that I got at the Michaels, and those were $14.99. That's the cheapest I've seen at Joann's. I got one. These were $12.60, and I ended up getting two. But the closures are kind of hit and miss on them. Here's another one. This one is not really closing as well. And it closes after you try. This one actually was one of the Joann ones. It flops up. This one flops down. These close without a problem usually. These I've had a little bit of an issue for it. But if you can kind of work around that and not have stuff in there that's going to fall out if it accidentally pops open a little bit, they are for $12.60. I thought that was a good deal. So I got two of those. So I've been working on that, moving some stuff around, organizing ephemera into different things, getting ready for my move. So, okay. Well, I love it. Love it. All right, I'm going to let that sit back and dry a little bit. And, oh, that's right, I did print that upside down. I was like, why is that upside down? But the whole book's not upside down. Yeah, we're fine. Had me freaked out for a second that I put it on the wrong side, but looking good. So there's that one. So let me show you how I did the snaps. Okay, so here is the second journal. And so what I did on that, and I seem to have lost my pieces. They've stuck. There we go. They like to magnetize themselves in places. Throw my pin in here, even though I will be using it shortly. But I've already lost one of the pins from it today. I don't know. I think it stuck to my finger and I flew it somewhere. Anywho. Okay. So, for the front one, I'm going to take, well, I don't know why I put this together again. All right. So, I think I'm going to put the bigger one on this one because I don't have necessarily a topper for this yet. So, I didn't have to make it smaller. And I think it kind of looks more like a daisy head. Too bad that's too far in. I'd put that there. Maybe I'll just put it right there. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to take this. Now again, this is doing it kind of wrong because I should have done it before the journal was put together. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and figure out where my center is, which is, yeah, that's about right there. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to punch a slot in there, a straight slot. Okay, so that is because these are hard to tell, but they are straight little arms. So I'm going to find out where my first slot is, and I'm going to eyeball where the second slot needs to go, right about there, and I'm going to push that through and make another slot. All right. Okay, so we're going to take these two slots and we're going to do our best to push them through. All right, come on. I can feel the first one going through. I think that leg is a little bent. So it seems to be going a little crooked. All right, let's put that one in first. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, I can see it's a little bit, it was a little bit bent. Yeah, that probably would have went in much easier if it was straight, but it was just a tad bit bent. Okay. All right, so now we've got it pushed all the way through, and you want to take one of the little discs that come with it and just put that on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold these in like a bread. I'm going to fold them outward just to hold the disc in properly. Okay. Now I'm not going to fold it too far back, just back enough so it's not going to be sticking up through the fabric. There we go. All right, so Again, if I was doing this properly, I would have put the fabric on the front, put my snap through there, and then gone through to put the fabric in the back. But since I didn't, I'm just going to take a little piece of that fabric and I'm going to put a patch on it. Now if I wanted to do something different, if I was really fussy about it, I could probably do that and make it look like it was always supposed to be there. Let's see if I can do that. I just happen to have that piece of fabric in that part. And I'm usually not that fussy. I'll just put it that way. But since I got it, why not use it? All right, so we're just gonna take some Fabri-Tac and put some on the back of the piece because I want to make sure I get the whole piece of fabric instead of putting it on here because I'm not sure if I get the whole piece. And then I am going to put some on that so we make sure we cover that good. Okay. Now the good part about Fabri-Tac is it does shift a little bit, so you can kind of play with it to get it to stay. And I'm going to let that dry, and then after I've let it dry, I'll come back and see if I can lift any of the corners up or anything and throw a little bit more glue on there. So there's the front. Not too bad. I cut a little too much here. I probably should have made it a little longer because there's the metal. But it's okay. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. Now for this back one, obviously we can't put the snap in there because it wouldn't never touch each other. We need to make the flop over part that I had on this one. All right, so I have chosen, get this out of the way, let it dry. I was thinking about using this fabric. It's not the, I could definitely use this one if I wanted to, kind of coordinate it, but I thought this one was kind of fun too. A little bit of a, oh, I don't know what you want to call it, accent piece instead of matching so much. But again, however you want to do it, that is up to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of fabric that is approximately 2.5 inches wide because I'm going to end up sewing it into a strip and reversing it so that the stitching is on the inside. Like that. And then I don't know if I'm going to do the same fold over because I had to do that because the way the ladybugs were facing, I had to do a fold over, otherwise they were facing the wrong way. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do the fold over or not. We're going to have to figure that out. But as I was saying, so we are going to, I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to stitch it and then reverse it so that the snap is on the outside. All right, so we need to put the snap in here before we sew it, obviously. So there is that piece. Now on these, you can, I wouldn't suggest to put it right in the middle for it because then when you go to sew it, it's kind of hard to describe. When you go to sew it, then this is kind of on the outside. I like to kind of shift it a little bit, not in the center, not at the edge, just a little bit to the offset of the center. And I'll show you after I sew it why I do that. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna take a snip, like I said, it's 2.5 inches. I'm gonna take a snip about 1 inch in and 1 inch up. I can use this. just to put a hole for the one brad arm. And what's nice about cotton fabric is once you get the one brad in, you can take and just push the fabric and it's going to pop through. So you don't even have to try to cut the second one. Okay? I couldn't do that on the book cover, obviously, because there would be too many layers to try to push through, and that's why I had to cut 2 pieces. All right, so we're gonna, once again, now I can't say that's the right tool to do. It just happens to be one I'm handy. Maybe a flathead screwdriver would work. The bone folder would probably work, but my luck, I'd crack it, so I didn't want to do that. I just know these are strong enough to do. So we're gonna fold the arms down just a bit. Past flat, we don't want to fold them too far. Okay, all right, so the part that we want to snap is going to be on the pretty side, and the stuff that you don't want to see is on the inside. Now I'm going to fold it in like this to sew it. Now you can see better now what I'm talking about is it's not in the center of this and it's not in the center of this, but when it gets flipped over and reversed, it will be better situated, and the seams will be folded in the back and make it not look so icky. Okay? All right, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to sew this up and show you what it looks like when it is finished, and then after I've sewn it, I will determine how. I'm going to take a little bit off because I know it's definitely not going to be that long. I don't want to sew that far. That'd be crazy. So just so you know, it's about 2.5 by 5. Yeah, it's about 2.5 by 5. We'll call it 2.5 by 5 piece to make a tab. And I probably will cut it a little bit more when all is said and done, but leaving room for the gator mount. So, okay, like I said, I'm going to pause that video. I'm going to sew this up real quick, and I'll be back to attach it to the journal. All right, I am back, and it is all sewn. Got a little candy walk on the top there, but you know, what are you going to do? Now, it is fine enough to be able to, the seam ends up being toward the bottom side, so it's fine to just put it this way, I think, instead of having to do what I did on the other one was I wanted the seam hidden, so instead of putting it like that, I ended up folding it over and sewing it down so that that side was on there. But I don't really see the seam that much, so I'm not going to be too worried about that. So I'm going to leave it without folding it over. Okay. All right, so once I got it on there, what we're going to do is we're going to glue it to this back page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and we're just going to, let's do it this way. I'm going to take this, and if you wanted to top stitch this so a little bit more finished, you can do that too. I did do that with this one, mainly because, like I said, I folded it over, but I did top stitch it down. Just know you probably want, if you want to top stitch, I'd probably start out with wider than 2.5 because it gets hard to sew around the snap. There's not a lot of room to sew around it for that, but just as a thought to be able to go and do that a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to tuck it in down on the back, so it's on the back of the cover. And we'll flip it over here. No, sorry, start that again. Got to tuck that into the back, the right spot, and I'm going to unsnap it so that I can see where it needs to land back here. Okay, so now that I know where it needs to land, I'm going to, I think how long I had it is pretty good. I'm going to sneak it out just a little bit just to make sure there's enough gator room mouth. All right, so the glue is going to go right here. Should put it sideways. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put some glue down to glue it in its place, and then we will get another fabric to cover over that just to make it more seamless. So again, we're going to go back to our back fabric, and I'm going to just cut a strip that is wide enough to cover. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to worry about matching up the flowers this time just because it's just the back cover. All right, and I'm going to throw the glue again on this fabric so I make sure I get all of it. Bit globby right there, so we're going to try to spread it out a little bit. A dangerous job to spread it out with your fingers. Okay. All right, we're going to do our best to even that out a little bit. And push it down without trying to stretch it out too much. Okay, get the glue off the hands. Okay, now obviously I need to let that dry, so I don't want to play with that too much. But I should be able to wrap that around, and you can see it is a little bit room and a little bit gatorish. All right, I have not created a journal topper for this. I don't know if I will, only because I really like this cover. The butterflies are really pretty. So like I said, this might just be the end of it. I might put something on top of there. I'm not sure, maybe a button. I probably have maybe some buttons I could glue on there just to give it a little bit of a finish. But otherwise, that is pretty much gonna be it. I have gone through and decorated this journal to call it done. So I'm gonna do a flip through, because I did a flip through of the this one when we were finishing up the extra pieces, but this one I did off camera. So I'm not sure if any of this part has been seen before, but I just want to show you. So I put this pocket on there, the honeybees, and I've got this card. It is one of those fake pockets. I believe it was a Roxy's challenge, but I have the birds on there. I'll make sure I'm in the camera here. There we go. Okay. All right. And then I've got these fabric postcards that I made. And this is a vellum pocket. Pretty flowers on there, and a journal card that I put inside of there. I like doing those vellum pockets because you can still see, usually through there, the journal card. All right, so this one, I did add, I'm getting my snaps out of the way. I did also add one of those comic book cards that are stiffer. I thought this was pretty. It with the pink flowers match, or the pink flowers on the trees matching the pink flowers with the butterfly. And I put the green tab in there. The back is plain, but I thought the green tab looked nice with that. Beetles. These pages had writing on the side. I did something different to the second one, but this one I cut it off just to make it a little bit smaller. I have another one of those fabric journals. I like the butterfly in there. She is very pretty. Lots of places to journal in here. Even adding, pictures or something on top of here. These flip-up tags that I've done the video for, I didn't add anything inside, but I did go through and I did ink with a splatter stamp using dried marigold, which I thought was a perfect color to go with these here, and I just used just a regular old splatter stamp just to get rid of that stark paper, because it was pretty much just a stark blank paper. All right, center. Did the same grunging there. This is a little one of those flip-up pockets I did. journal card with some fabric on there and a flower, and then I just glued a butterfly on there. It looked kind of plain because it was a smaller tag. I like how this has the kind of peach color tones kind of matched all together in there. There's a hint of blue in there and blue, so I thought that really went well. I did these two journal cards were not done when I put them in there. This one I have just a couple tags and some pink flowers, and this one I added these macaws, probably parrots. I just thought those colors were great with that splatter card in the back. I added some, these are metal tags from J. Lou that I recently found. Been having a lot of fun with those. Lots of numbers in there. So this is the other half of that one where I cut. I did fold over a piece of paper, and if you saw my recent video regarding my origami freebie origami pockets, the freebie that I have on my coffee account, you will see that I used part of that to make a border on there, which I thought was kind of fun. And I put one of those metal tags, folded it over kind of like a little tab. I probably could have stuck it out a little farther to make it an actual tab, but it was only printed on copy paper, so it was pretty thin. And just a piece of washi sticker on there, but I thought those tied in well. Gave this page a little bit of oomph on it, so yeah, fun. And oh yeah, almost forgot about that mushroom. How could I forget about that mushroom? Okay, so this is the other half of the one with the sunflower, and this just has a flower card in there. The back has some lined writing space and a whale tail tab sticking out the top. Little pink stamp to go with that. Thought that was fun. This one I just have a journal card on the side, whale tail punch sticking in there. All right, and this one is another one of those journal cards. I did add, again, that same metallic numbers from J. Lou. This is, I did have this stick out just a little bit for it, but I thought that was kind of an interesting add-on. And this is another one of those flip, like that one I had in front. Didn't have to disguise this one any because it was on a nice background. And that is it. That is the final flip through for that one. So now we have that one taken care of. And we've got this one with its lovely journal topper on there now, which I absolutely loved making. And that is it. So, okay. Well, that is going to be it for these spring journals. I hope you enjoyed the series. It wasn't too many videos, but enough just to get our thoughts going about spring coming. Since yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was the first day of spring, I figured I probably should get this done and start heading towards something else. Not sure what the next journal is going to be. I'm going to have to mull that around. If anybody's seen any fun things that they would like, oh, that would be fun to go on, leave a comment below. Let me know what you've seen out there. Some thoughts on some themes for some fun summer journals. I'd love to hear about it. All right, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be awesome. And again, any questions or comments, I'm always happy to answer those. That's going to be it for me today in my snap closure video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.